Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Ammar Elm, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to have Alex High, the founder of Reset ADHD. This is a coaching company that helps individuals with ADHD thrive through clarity, support, and structure. With a background in both theology and coaching, Alex combines unique personal experience and professional training to guide ADHD clients in breakthrough barriers and unlocking their full potential. His mission-driven business is not just about productivity, but also about helping clients rediscover self-worth and purpose. Alex, welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you for having me.
I am excited to dive in. This is a topic that's near and dear to my heart. A bunch of my family members were diagnosed with ADHD, so this is going to be very fun to dive into. I always like to start from the beginning. Take us back to before you started Reset ADHD. What was the motivation behind starting it, and what problems were you looking to solve in the marketplace?
Yeah, going way back, I always wanted to start my own business, but had no real understanding of what business I wanted to start. After I graduated with my undergrad, I was just not satisfied with getting a job and sitting in the office all day, working for a faceless company trying to make them money.
Got it.
So what problem was I trying to solve? I was trying to solve the problem of my own existence, my own life, my desires as far as a career.
Mm,
And as I started exploring life and trying different career paths, I found that I wasn't managing my own ADHD well. And that led me to do some writing about ADHD. And in the process, I discovered a passion for helping others with ADHD. And I didn't get diagnosed until I was 20. I had a year left of undergrad. So I found myself wanting to give support to those who have ADHD and maybe get them support earlier in life than I got it. Now, having said that, I've evolved in who I want to serve, but when I first started out, I wanted to help everybody and give them the support that I didn't have.
yeah. So it started from a personal experience. Like
Correct.
you have this thing and you're like, okay, other people also have this thing. Let me see how I can serve. And also knocks two birds with one stone because you get to start your own business as a result.
Exactly.
Very cool. So take us to today. You mentioned you evolved who you serve. Let's
Mhm.
dive into that. Help us, the listeners who know nothing about your company, understand who is your ideal customer? Who do you love to work with? And then how do you actually serve them? What are the different offers and services that you provide?
Yeah, when I first started off, I wanted to help everybody with ADHD.
Mm,
And I quickly found that doesn't work. You need to find your niche, however you say it, and find the people that you really love working with. And the more I dove into coaching and running my business, the more I realized I wanted to help people like me. So
mm,
my standard answer to the who is your ideal client question is me. I'm my ideal client. So creative, on the younger side, not necessarily like a teenager or a college student, but younger. That being said, I have worked with senior citizens and have enjoyed that, but a spiritual background is helpful. Creativity, as I said, a sense of humor. I don't really define my target audience by demographics. It's more of
mm.
a personality fit. So, especially when I'm doing coaching, that's the focus of my business when I started it. Since then, I've added some digital products, some online courses, some downloadables. I've always had a blog, and I feel like there's something else I'm missing in my offerings, but there's a lot of resources on resetadhd.com that
Got
can benefit me, but some of them don't. I've got like a list of ADHD products. If some of them I get like Amazon affiliate money back. Some of them are just like products I like, and they don't have an affiliate program, but I still like them and I want them to get
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah, yeah. And they've added value to you in some way, so maybe they're going to add value to somebody else in some way. Very interesting that you said you don't define your ICP by demographic. For us at our company, when we think about ICP, it's either demographic or psychographic. So it sounds like you're more leaning towards this side where you mentioned personality traits, maybe just certain inclinations, creatives, etc. So help us understand, you have the digital products, the courses, the downloadables. What is the core service? What is the core offer of your company?
The core offering is a better life. And so I've got different price points at which you can pursue that. So at the heart of everything is I just want you to live a better life, a more fulfilling life. And ADHD can get in the way of that, but if you harness it, it can help you discover something unique about yourself and how you interact with the world. I like to say it's my job to help people work with their brains, not against them.
I like that. So there, you mentioned there's different levels. Is there like break down the nuts and bolts for me a little bit, just so the listeners understand a little bit further. Is it group coaching? Is it one-on-one coaching? Is there different offers and different packages that they can choose from? Walk me through that.
Yeah, so the most expensive offering is going to be the one-on-one coaching. I don't do group coaching. So you can meet with me once a week for $750 a month, twice a month for $450 a month. I'm working on an AI coach to hopefully offer a lower cost coaching option that, okay, maybe isn't going to be as personal, but still will provide quality coaching. Again, that's in the works, not available right now.
Got it.
And then the digital products, I've got courses, those are going to be like under $200. The digital products, downloadables, those are going to be under $20.
Got it. Very cool. What's your favorite of all of these? Which ones do you enjoy the most?
The new one. And I say that because ADHD is an interest-based nervous system. So
Yeah.
whatever's new and shiny to the ADHD brain, that's what's going to get the attention. So when you talk about what's my favorite offering from my business, it's the one that's the newest and most exciting to me in the moment. So I had been working on AI for a while, then it got boring or I lost interest. And just like in the past few days, I've reignited my interest in building that AI product. So right now that's really interesting to me. At the heart of everything, I just want to help people in the way that works best for them.
Yeah.
So if that's coaching, great. If it's not, I'm going to help you find what you need.
I like that. What's stopping you from doing the group coaching model?
Just finding the right fit for a group coaching model. It's something I have explored, but haven't really found the right cohesiveness to a program. I really do value one-on-one connection.
Hmm,
And I worry about getting into a group and having maybe a member not get enough attention from the coach, in this case, me.
got it. So if you could develop it in a way where it's cohesive and people do get the attention necessary, it's something you're open to exploring.
Yeah, if that's the way my business goes, yeah. I mentioned before we started that I'm big on improvisation. So just going with the flow, saying yes and to whatever comes up. So if there's a right model for group coaching, I'm willing to explore it.
Cool. Very cool. I'm curious, do you ever run into capacity issues when it comes to the one-on-one? Because obviously there's only so many hours in the day. I'm curious if that's something that you've encountered.
No, and part of that is ADHD coaching has become such a flooded marketplace.
Mm,
Anyone can hang up their shingle and say, I'm an ADHD coach.
yeah,
Now, there are organizations that help protect ADHD clients, namely the Professional Association for ADHD Coaches, who credentials ADHD coaches. And yeah, so there's a lot of ADHD coaches out there.
Yeah.
And so I haven't run across too much of, oh, I don't have time for these people. And I like it that way because it allows me to explore other pursuits. Those of us with ADHD tend to enjoy having some variety in their day. So it's not something I've run into, but it would be a good problem to have.
Very cool. I didn't even know there was an association for ADHD coaches. So that's interesting.
Yeah. I'm gonna use the word we here because I'm on the board for another 29, 28 days. I'm currently the volunteers chair for the organization. Starting July 1, I won't be. But we have really tried to make our profile bigger because, again, we want to make sure that people with ADHD are getting their needs met. And Joe Schmo, who just decides I'm going to help people with ADHD without any training in coaching,
Yeah,
can cause some real issues for people with ADHD.
100%. So let's shift a little bit to the back end of the business and in terms of lead generation sales. So let's start off with leads. For you, when you're looking to bring on more clients and maybe even drive more traffic to the website for the different courses, the downloadables, what does that process look like? What are your different lead generation mechanisms, strategies? Walk me through that.
Yeah, I would say the chief primary focus for getting new customers is SEO.
Interesting.
Plenty of people are going online searching ADHD and trying to find help. So I when people sign up for a free intro call with me, they off they have to fill out a survey, not a survey, but like a form. And
Yep.
one of the questions I ask is, how did you hear about me? And a lot of the time, it's they just did a Google search.
Wow.
So SEO has been huge for me. That being said, I do have a marketing partner, and she's been running my social media, helping me come up with videos for social media, posts for social media. But I would say just getting my name out there in whatever way possible. And SEO has been really beneficial in that. I do things like this, like going on podcasts. There was something else, and it's escaping my mind at the moment. Dang it. What was it? Oh, there are directories of ADHD coaches.
Cool.
So getting my name out there on those has been beneficial as well.
Very cool. It sounds like ADHD is by far, or sorry, not ADHD. SEO is by far the most effective.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you find that because it's organic, it's consistent, not consistent, like some weeks are better than others? What has your experience been like with that?
Yeah, it does go up and down, which is why every once in a while my marketing person or myself will just do a deep dive into the SEO right now. What are people searching? Before I brought my marketing person on, I went on, I think it was Upwork, and hired somebody to just do an SEO audit of my website. And
Mm,
then when I brought my marketing person on, we revamped my website, which involved more SEO. And then the other thing we found is with my blog posts, I just have a natural way of writing that's good for SEO. So there has been some luck, fortune, whatever you want to call it, involved with my SEO.
got it. And is the marketing person, is this somebody who's internal or is it like an agency?
It's an agency, very small agency, but I work with her one on one, so it feels like it's internal almost, but it's not.
Got it. Very cool. What does your sales process look like? So, in terms of once a lead does come in, what are the steps in the process that they go through for them to actually become a client?
Yeah, so one of the first ways is they get on my email list, and I'm sure you've heard lots of people talk about the email list. But for however it starts, whether it's on the email list or just Google search, they like to sign up. I offer a free 30-minute get to know you, get to know me, get to know coaching session. From there, I send them a few documents and they review it and then they sign up for coaching. Now, if they're not ready for coaching or they want to work with a different coach, I can refer them to other resources. Some of those resources could be on my website, could be elsewhere. And I just feel like doing the right thing in those intro calls is what's going to endear me to people. I just got an email, I think yesterday, from someone I had an intro call with, and they ended up choosing a different coach. But they came back to me over the weekend and said, "Hey, things didn't work out with that coach. Can I have another 30-minute session to explore what didn't work there and if it'll work with you?" So it's all about building relationship, the know and trust factor. So whether that's people finding me on Instagram or through Google, building that know and trust, and then having them feel comfortable reaching out to set up that session or to explore my other products. So
Got it.
it's email list, Instagram, other social media, build the know and trust. Then they can go to my website and find the path that works for them.
Got it. Got it. Very cool. One thing we talk about a lot on this podcast is the importance as a business owner to set up predictable lead generation machine and a repeatable sales process, right? So something where you can turn on and off, you can bring in more leads on demand, essentially, as the business needs more business or you want more business. And then also a repeatable sales process where maybe potentially you could step out and have somebody else come in and run the sales. I'm curious, when you think about those two, and we could maybe start with the predictable lead generation process, what are you doing right now to put that in place and make sure that it is more predictable?
I am trying to build that email list and having automated systems in the email thing. So, if somebody goes to my website, looks at one of the digital products, maybe puts it in their cart but doesn't check out, we're building processes and systems to reach out to them and say, "Hey, don't abandon your cart," in a more sales friendly way, and invite them back. So we're building these automatic email things to generate people to come back. If you've had an intro call with me, you get put into a segment of my email list and you're reminded every so often that, "Hey, I'm still here if you want to pursue coaching, do another intro call, or pursue something on my digital store."
Got it. What do you feel like is the biggest challenge you're facing right now?
Clarity. I've added a few things to my business other than coaching, and it's like, where do I put my time and energy?
Mm,
So I'm in this unique state where I've been doing this for almost 7 years, and I'm looking for what's next. And so as I explore that, it's, do I want to bring someone on to do more of my business for me so I can pursue other ventures? Do I want to re-engage with coaching and try and build that client list up? Do I want to just focus on the digital products and the AI coaching? That's the biggest challenge, is what's next and where do I get clarity and how do I get clarity?
interesting. One thing that I've used and I've heard a lot of other people on the podcast speak to this is one of the easiest ways to get clarity on what the next step should be is to think with the end in mind or start with the end in mind, as Stephen Covey says. So let's say you think of your vision for your life over the next 12 months. Like we snap our fingers, it's a year down the line. Where do you personally want to be? Where do you want your business to be? What does that look like? Maybe any revenue targets, performance targets, anything like that.
The numbers don't really matter to me that much. Granted, they probably should, but I want to be helping people and I want to have that clarity of this is how I help people.
Mm,
So I would also like to get to a point where the business is almost runs itself
okay.
and that I don't have to spend so much of my mental energy making the business work. I want to be
Yeah.
free to explore my creative projects and other things like that. And then also just be free to come up with new ideas, whether that's for Reset ADHD or not.
Okay. Very cool. And what's stopping you from having that freedom right now?
Some of it is my own mental blocks that I'm putting up. Some of that is just trying to figure out if I can afford to bring someone else on, or just it's that lack of clarity that I keep coming back to. So clarity is a big desire for me in my business right now.
Got it. If you could talk to, and I appreciate you for sharing that, by the way. But if you had somebody in front of you that has ADHD and they've never done any coaching or anything like that, and you could give them one tip that would help them live a better life, live a more fulfilling life. I know that's a tough question to answer, but what would that be?
I would start with self-exploration.
Mm,
When you've met one person with ADHD, you've met one person with ADHD. Everyone, whether you have ADHD or not, is unique. So, when I say it's my job to help people work with their brains, not against them, it's about finding out how their brain works, what their natural way of being in the world is, and moving forward using that, using strengths, and not doing the same old things that society has told you to do. Because a lot of the messages people with ADHD get from society are be neurotypical. ADHD, it doesn't work that way.
yeah,
You can't force yourself into being neurotypical. You have to work with what you have. And there are a lot of people with ADHD who have really awesome strengths, and we need to develop those strengths more.
I love that. What's the best way for people to reach out to you to potentially become a coaching client?
There's a contact form on my website, resetadhd.com. And there's even a book now page on my website. So if you want to become my coaching client, hit that book now button, sign up for a free reset session, and let's talk.
Awesome. Anything else you want to leave us off with before I let you go?
Just find your way of doing it. And no one's journey is going to look the same as your journey. So have fun with it.
I love it. So that wraps up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. Alex, thank you so much. I want to thank you for your time and sharing your journey and your insights with us today. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
Of course. Now, our listeners, if you're inspired by today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you're looking to scale your business and really enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to discover how we can support your growth journey. Until then, keep on climbing.